What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's Scythe, and we are... Oh, hello. I was just introducing myself to the invisible people behind me. How y'all doing today, folks? Hope you're doing fantastic, wonderful. Hope this video makes your day even better. My name's Scythe, and we are back again for some more Cove on the Xbox. So we've got quite a bit of news. I ended up kind of talking about in my last PS4 episode where I was talking about the PC update that's going to be coming to consoles on March 14th, everybody. And I finally ended up getting a little bit more information that the devs ended up telling me, so I hope you're all as excited as I am to actually share it because I can specifically say what's going to end up happening with that update. But before we get started with all of that, we are going to be giving away, let's say, 3 Mario, and Luigi Mario. That's a Mario movie reference. If you never ended up watching that movie, it's awesome. I love it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, even though it was rated very, very poorly. But if you want to win any of those, you're going to have to hit that like button and leave a comment in the comment section down below with, let's say, I don't know, your favorite resource type. Mostly because of how stupid that is. I think that'll be funny. Man, this sucks only having to jump. Like, seriously. Call me the Jump King, because that's the one thing that I'm desperately lacking in this game right now. Oh, by the way, if you didn't already know, that Batmobile that we're riding right now, yeah, if you log in before March 14th, you can end up getting it. The PS4 players, unfortunately, only get a stupid cloud. Yep. I mean, we got the Batmobile. Reading it and weep, PS4. No, but that's just kind of a weird thing that the devs ended up doing. So, we also got a couple shoutouts that we're gonna do as we try, or I try and complete my daily. I don't know if I'll be able to. But the update in question is going to end up having, wait for it, not the Dino Tamer, for one. No Dino Tamer and no Chaotic Crafter. I assume the big reason that they're not pushing that, though, the Chaotic Crafter, not the Dino Tamer, is because they're probably making enough money off of people that are actually paying to buy all the classes and stuff right now. So why would they want to put out the Chaos Crafter that allows players to essentially just craft all of the classes, right? Like, why would they do that? But the Dino Tamer, now that's a weird one because I mentioned this in the PS4 episode, but the updates that are going to be coming is there is going to be the new loot collector, so woohoo, that's going to be great. Like, seriously, that's awesome. Because it means that we're not going to have to spend 50 zillion years loot collecting all of our items. You can actually just run up to a loot collector. Forget this dungeon, I don't care. You can just run up to a loot collector and it's just automatically going to set up all your items to be loot collected. I have videos on the newer loot collector, so you can check those out. But I'm probably going to have to do an updated video on it just to kind of give you a quick summary as to what it ends up doing. But it's awesome. Like, seriously, the new loot collector is a requirement of this game. And then on top of that, there's also going to be the crafting inventory, right? So what the crafting inventory is going to be, let me see if I can do this proper. There we go. No, I didn't. You stupid game and its dumb lagginess. The crafting inventory is going to be a third inventory tab where all of your flux, glim, or pretty much every type of resource in the entire game is going to end up going into that category. And it actually stacks to 100 million, meaning that you're not going to have to worry that much, ever, I should say, about having like a full inventory. It kind of actually makes inventory expanders obsolete, which is a little disappointing for, I guess, people that actually end up like bothering to buy them, but it's still good in the long run because it helps free players. Okay, seriously, I gotta get to a better biome. Anyways, while this update's gonna be coming out, the whole point that I was trying to get at is the Dino Tamer, I'm pretty sure, ended up actually coming out before that third inventory was actually added to the game. So it means that they're purposefully shifting around the content, you know? Now, the one thing that I can also confirm is there is still going to be the big one, the big PC update that we're all waiting for is going to end up hitting consoles eventually, where it's going to end up like adding all of the PC content to the console. Get through the portal. I'm tapping the button, you stupid game. There, seriously. I've played this game for such a long time, it triggers me when things don't go right. No, but in all seriousness, folks, there is a big PC update that's going to be hitting consoles and PC players at the same time. That's going to be the big story mode update that they're working on, the one that's going to be working on Shadow Towers and stuff. That update, oddly enough, is going to be the one that includes the Chaos Crafter and the Dino Tamer. Like I said, the only reason that I could assume that they're delaying that content is just because the Chaos Crafter changes the game fundamentally. But then on top of that, the Dino Tamer, I mean, you know, they're probably not working on a new class for quite some time, so why not put the Dino Tamer out on console and act like it's a big deal, right? Dino Tamer is actually a very, very cool character, to be sure, but whoo, that's quite crazy. Now, the other thing, too, is when this update does end up hitting, I had a recent video end up coming out, and it's going to affect console players as well, talking about the pay-to-win update, because that pay-to-win update is going to be coming out to PC players next week, while we're going to end up on console getting that, the first update of many anyways, where Trove is launching on console. And with that, that update is going to eventually end up hitting console players when we end up getting that big PC update that's going to synchronize the Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC versions of the game all into one. It's not going to make it so that we can all play together or anything like that. There's no way they could end up doing something like that. It's mostly because it's going to end up making it so that all of the updates are, like, all of the different versions are going to all be at the same version and same date, right? So anyways, enough of that noise. We got some shoutouts before. Okay, I gotta get to the Francis Dungeon. We got some shoutouts. Whatever. So, Turbid Park ended up giving me a bunch of bombs, a bunch of rings, and lots of resources. And I do stress lots of resources. Then Wheezing Muffin 9 threw me a bunch of allies. One of them of which, unless that was from somebody else, in which case I'm sorry about that, was the Shield Servitor, which is one of the legendary allies you can get out of the pirate merchants. But it's really good for tanking. I'll say that. It's really, really good for tanking. I personally don't really use that ally very often, because you can kind of just make up for it with all of your gems and stuff, but it still is a really good ally. Then we've also got Dead Res Gaming threw me lots of resources as well. When I say lots of resources, it means lots of resources, because otherwise I would have just put resources, right? Then there's also Citronus Beast gave me a bunch of Infinium. Vero Legit gave me the Dragon Tiger mount, which we can take a look at that sucker in a minute. And then only H2O Leroy threw me a bunch of resources. And then there was also... Wait, no, that was it. That's already it. Yeah. And then I also need to talk a little bit about the club and the craziness that's going on there, if this boss will ever die. Like, seriously, perfect timing too, because we actually ended up gaining our daily qubits. Okay, let's go to the club world. And the game crashed. You know, one of these days, like legit, I'm just gonna make a Trove video where I'm just sitting here like on the Xbox dashboard. The funny thing is I actually ended up getting into the club world, and I just went through a transit portal so that I could get to one of the other areas. Oops, I wasn't trying to go to the music area, but I am really, really excited for when we do actually get some more songs. I wanted to go to the Pixel Zone if the game doesn't crash again. Yeah, there we go. So you end up taking the green portal. I think that's the one I took, and we've got some pretty crazy pixel art here. Most of this stuff, I'm pretty sure, expansions for bigger pixel projects. Yeah, most of this stuff is by Captain Redbeard 647. I didn't know the numbers that were in his name. I just call him Cap, you know, because Captain America. But man alive, he's been building like crazy. I mean, look at that Charizard. That just looks amazing. Lots of stuff has been changing with the clubs, but more so what I wanted to actually talk about just in the closing of this episode is just why I haven't really been around as much on the Xbox. And most of all, that's just got to do with the fact that it crashes. And that it's unstable. That's That's pretty much the summary of it. Anyways, here's a big portal room. This is the companion cube. It has a whole bunch of different portals in it to go to all the different clubs and stuff. But yeah, needless to say, folks, that's pretty much all there really is to it. Is the only reason I'm not on the Xbox more often, I would love to be on it more often and get some serious grind time done, which I was able to do over the weekend for sure. But I would be playing this game a little bit more often if it was more stable. And you know what else would actually be really, really cool is if this game was a little bit more stable, they could end up putting it on the Nintendo Switch, and then we could end up playing Trove, while in a Starbucks or something. Also, why I'm standing like a freak is mostly just because it's healthy for one, but also with games that actually require a controller, you're probably gonna see me standing a lot more often, just because it's something I wanted to experiment with for years and never really could at this point, but now I finally can. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Very much appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content. Sayonara, and stay epic, everybody.